families. This week on Community Chat, Hagen Nares PLC truck wreck and brain injury lawyers is speaking with Chrystal Bell, a franchise consultant who works to connect entrepreneurs to their dream company. Chrystal is an entrepreneur herself and seeks to teach the next generation early skills to start their own business. Now, Chrystal is here to talk about her entrepreneurial journey, what it's like to be a client of hers, and to discuss her nonprofit. We're very excited. Welcome, Chrystal.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting. I've never done this, so bear with me.
No, we're very excited. And I know your journey very well. That's exactly why I wanted you to speak to some people, because we're constantly talking to small business owners. That's a lot of people that listen to this chat. And they're always looking for either a different venture entirely or maybe a second venture. And that exactly ties into your journey and why you're best suited to be a consultant here. So I would love for you to share the background of how you got into this.
Well, it was kind of roundabout. I have actually owned a few franchises. I've owned my own businesses, but I've also owned franchises. And what I've found through franchising is you're able to start a business a lot faster. You have a business plan and you're able to take it and grow with it so much faster than if you were to start from scratch and have to recreate everything, marketing, all of that kind of stuff. So I started with a property management company. Realized very quickly that I hated property management. I was stressed out and I was working too many hours. I had 2 young kids and I'm like, this is not for me. So then I decided, you know what? I need something a little less stressful, more flexible, something that maybe doesn't have employees, something that's a little more semi-absentee. So I sold the property management company after I grew it over 2 years and was able to take the money that I made on that company and rolled it over to another franchise. And I rolled it into healthy vending machines, thinking, you know what? I like vending machines because everyone says it's so passive. You don't have to worry about it. And I wanted the healthy aspect because I feel like a lot of vending machines just have so much junk. So I got into healthy vending. I started with 6 machines. I grew it to about 50 machines in 6 months. So I grew it really quickly. But what they don't tell you is when you grow it that quickly, it is no longer passive. It is no longer semi-absentee. You have to hire a bunch of employees. And I had so much like food and drinks and a warehouse full of all of this stuff. And it's like I wasn't prepared. The franchisor didn't prepare me as well. I also found out that it actually wasn't a franchise. It was just a business license. They taught me a little bit, but then I was on my own. I didn't have the support of a franchise system. And I also learned that vending machines is very high failure rate business. Most people, they buy the machines, but then don't find good locations and they just end up closing the doors pretty quickly. And so I was successful. I made it grow. And then the pandemic happened and half of my machines were in school districts. So I lost half of my machines for about a year, but I was still successful. I was still able to grow and build on that business. But I realized when the pandemic was the schools were going to open back up, I was going to be so busy and trying to decide, do I want employees in the very high cash volume business? Do I want to continue busting my butt trying to fill all these machines? Like, what do I really want in my business? And I realized that this was not my goal. This business I was in was not what I wanted. That's not what I had asked for in the beginning. So I ended up selling it to a family and they were able to take all of my contracts and able to keep it going. So it was very successful for them. And then I took some time off to really decide, what do I want in my business? What kind of business am I looking for? I don't care what industry. Obviously, I went from property management to healthy vending. I've been in a bunch of industries. Like, I don't care about the industry. What do my actual goals want to be? And that's when I found out about consulting. And that's where I'm like, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to help people. I know how to start business. I know how to grow business. I know how to sell businesses. How can I help people that really want to do what I've done and be able to get into the right business for them? I want to be that person to keep them grounded when they're going through this franchise process. I didn't know consulting for franchising was actual thing. And so I'm like, you know what? let me help these people, because when they talk to those salespeople, like I did with the vending machines, he sold me immediately. He's like, passive income, flexible schedule, you can make so much money with while you sleep. I didn't do my research. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So that's what I want to help people with. I want to help them do the research, know how to ask the right questions, know what questions to ask, and help them decide, is this business going to be good for you? But I'm also going to help give them opportunities for other industries. So if somebody comes to me and is like, I want fast food, I don't work with fast food, but I'm also going to show them different opportunities in different areas that maybe they've never considered. Like maybe they want a soap shop, or maybe they like fitness, but they don't know how to ask the right questions to get into fitness, or maybe they want a health and beauty. Like, let's see what we can gear them towards, but what does their ideal business model look like? Do they want to work not 40 hours a week? Are they willing to manage a team of people? Are they willing to manage key people, and those key people are managing other people? Like, that's what I want to do. I want to really help them decide what their ideal, their perfect business looks like. Erase the industry, erase like what they have in their minds, but in 5 years from now, what would you like your ideal business to look like? So that's what I do. I help them, and then I try to match them with opportunities that I think they'll be successful at. And so that's how I got into franchise consulting and why I wanted to do that. In the meantime, I also, knowing the franchise system and knowing what's out there, I also got me and my husband into another franchise. So now we also have a donut food truck. So I went from healthy vending to mini donuts. So
the donut food truck presents my next question, which clearly we just discussed your journey and why it's tied to why you're a consultant, and the unique way about how you do it with a lot of people come in thinking what kind of business they want, but really they have in their mind their ideal life, right? They want to be able to travel a lot, or maybe they do want to run a business operations. And you really talk to them about more what their life's goal is, and that there may be other opportunities out there. So I think that's fantastic. But it's not just this, it's not just consulting, and it's not just being an entrepreneur yourself, but you're actually trying to teach the next generation, lending to the next question about the food truck, which I know is somewhat tied to a nonprofit. So I'd love for you to share your work with that, what your goals and aspirations are with that nonprofit, because I think it's a great aspiration.
our goal with it was to help our kids learn about business. And so I actually had started this nonprofit for kids, for younger kids. We're talking 6 years to 14 years, trying to help them learn about business. Because what I'm finding is schools, they don't teach finance for one, but they also don't teach business. So by the time they hit high school or college, they don't know the steps that it takes to start a business. So they're so set on careers and, getting a college degree that their mind isn't able to like switch gears as easily to learn about business and to learn about how to start their own concept. So what we've done with the business, it's the Children's Business Fair. It's NoCo Children's Business Fair. And we're helping kids learn about pricing, how to come up with ideas, how to come up with names. And we are really focusing on it being child-led, because even my mind, it's like, you know what? I know you want to make stickers, but I don't think it's going to make a lot of money. But that's not for me to say. That's for them to learn, for them to like decide on their own. And surprisingly, these kids are thinking of things I've never even considered as being an opportunity, and they're successful. And it's because it's child-led. We're trying to keep adult, I don't even know how to explain like the adult blocks that we all have, and letting them do it on their own, and letting them sink or swim, and giving them a safe space to be able to try their hand at business. And all of these kids, when they have their booth set up in this marketplace, and the community's coming in and they're giving their sales pitch, they're learning how to pitch their company. They're not just standing there with their hands in their pockets. They're actually promoting their business. They're learning about money. They're learning about expenses. Like, okay, it took me $5 to make this product and I'm going to sell it for 10. My profit should be 5. So they're learning through a very safe environment to, like, really what I feel like everybody should learn very early on, because it's going to help them be more successful as they get older anyways.
I think that's fantastic. And if there are members of the community that really want to get their kids involved in that, how can they be involved in this nonprofit?
So we have a website. It's childrensbusinessfair.org. It's actually a nationwide thing. So it doesn't even have to be in Colorado or northern Colorado, because that's where we're at. They have business fairs kind of throughout the country. And I just happen to apply to be a branch of this organization. And then me and my business partner, Katie Baker, have taken it just a step further. We have offered classes for free for kids to learn about coming up with ideas, coming up with business names, coming up with pricing, like learning the entire business process, so that when they get to that marketplace to sell their goods, they've learned the steps that a business owner should learn before they have to sell product.
I think that's fantastic. And like I said, the journey, what you want to do with teaching the next generation, it all goes towards kind of why you really believe in this consulting service, why you really want to help people. I think that's fantastic. And I'm going to put all your information in the show notes. But if people want to get in contact with you about consulting services, what's the best way to reach you?
My website is aspenbusinessconsultants.com. You can always schedule a free consultation. I don't charge for any of my services. It's super easy. I would be, I guess, closely related or closely similar to a real estate agent. So really, instead of going to a real estate agent saying, I want a 3-bed, 2-bath house, find one for me, you come to me, we sit down, no charge. Tell me what your business looks like. Tell me what your ideal concept looks like. And we go through a process, and then I match you with different concepts and I help you through that franchising process. It can be overwhelming, and I will be the first to admit, if I think that business is not going to be right for that person, I'm going to say, stop for a second. This is turning out to be not what we were thinking it was going to be. We really need to switch gears and get back on track to what your ideal business looks like. So that's my goal, is just trying to help people through that process. Not everybody should be in business and not everybody should be in franchising, but why not have somebody that can offer that service at no charge, so you can really decide, is this right for me? And if it is, let's get through a process where there's somebody that can help keep you grounded and have you ask the right questions.
I think that's fantastic. And we want to thank you so much, Chrystal, for being here. We're going to include all the great information that you shared, not only for the nonprofit you're helping to support, but also your contact information as a consultant. So thank you so much.
Ooh.